penny farthing was the first machine to be called a bicycle. They're old, they're funny, and for some, still a big deal.
Sometimes I go into a local bike shop just for a bit of a joke and ask them if they've got a tyre to fit my bike, and then bring them outside to have a look at it. People find the penny farthing almost hypnotic. I don't know why, I can't explain it, but people just love seeing it. And it's just a real pleasure to share it with people.
Richard, being an already avid bike racer, discovered penny farthing racing on an internet forum one night.
So I entered immediately, very excited, and then realised that A, I don't have a penny farthing, and B, I don't know how to ride a penny farthing.
But he overcame those hurdles.
I'm the current UK champion, so I've got a title to defend.
But penny farthing racing isn't as easy as it looks, and it sure doesn't look easy.
It's a very dangerous machine to ride. You're sat up on top on the point of balance virtually. So if anything goes wrong, you tend to be going headfirst over the front of the bike.
The bikes can be up to 5 feet tall, and that height has its benefits.
Racing one of these bikes pretty high up, you get a fantastic view of the crowd. It's the best way to see the event here, I always tell people.
Height is not the only benefit the penny farthing has.
Big difference between riding a penny farthing and a normal bike is you can't slow down very quickly, you've got to watch the road ahead. But I find the biggest difference is the smiles on people's faces. When you ride one of these things, people just love to see it. They smile, they wave, they pull up, take photographs. I have so many conversations with people I would never ever meet without this bike, and that's the joy of it. People just love seeing it and talking about it.
I think Laz is crazy, but in a very good way.
I think he's very smart. I think he knows what he's doing.
People think he's a sadist or whatever.
He's like my trail soulmate.
Flair for the dramatic, I think.
A bit of a sassy man.
Laz Cantrell, a true backwoods rebel of Tennessee, created one of the world's most grueling foot races. One that is so challenging, it leads many to assume it must be an act of sadism.
Are you a sadist?
No. I think people are obsessed with comfort to the point that they forget. And if you don't have any discomfort in your life, how do you know when you feel good? The Barkley Marathons is a 100-mile race comprised of 5 20-mile loops that you have 60 hours to complete. It's over some pretty rugged terrain. It's got a massive amount of climb, about 66,000 feet. You have just your map and compass. It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, you're alone. The fact that they'll probably almost certainly fail makes it more appealing. It started in '85 and we've had 14 finishers.
Are y'all about ready?
You start the race with a cigarette light, which feels very untraditional for most race starts.
Yeah, we always use a Camel because that's about the best cigarette, I think.
18, go for it.
The course is located in Frozen Head State Park, home to the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, a location not chosen by chance. In 1977, James Earl Ray, the man who killed Martin Luther King Jr., made headlines again when he escaped the prison. In the 54 hours he was free, he only made it 8 miles from his cell. Because this terrain is no joke.
Dawned on us that, man, you could put together a race course that would really challenge people's soul. I think every runner would like to do better than James Earl Ray and get further than 8 miles, although some of them don't. Everybody gets a bib number for each loop. There's paperback books which are kind of strategically placed so that to get them all you have to follow the course. And you pull out the page number that matches your bib. You have to turn in your pages to show that you've done the course.
He has a brilliant sense of humor. He's parodying the sport of ultramarathon running. Those of us who run ultras, we have a certain egoism, that we think we're pretty good because of what we can do. And so he set out to puncture that balloon. Laz keeps making it harder because he's trying to put it at the limit of human possibility.
After they decided that they've had enough and quit, we play taps on the bugle, both because taps is what you play for someone who's died in action and because they're being tapped out.
I think genuinely in his heart, he wants to see people succeed. When people actually finish 5 loops and you see him at the end, he's so excited.
When and if one or more of them comes in, it's an inspiring thing. It's hard to believe a human can accomplish that. It's good that some years no one finishes, because the Barkley should win sometimes too.
When you roll up to that line, you are getting butterflies in your stomach. You're nervous, you're sweating, but once you get the bug, you get hooked, and then it's all over.
We are celebrating our 23rd year of the Top the Cop program here at Sonoma Raceway.
Top the Cops is a program where high school students can come out to the racetrack on a Wednesday night, race their car against a uniformed policeman in a stock police car. I'm Kevin McKinney, the program director for the Top the Cops program. I'm a retired law enforcement officer from the Santa Rosa Police Department. We've been doing this from April through August for the past 23 seasons. There was illegal street racing being done in and around the city of Santa Rosa. And I thought we need to get these people over here to the racetrack so they stop doing it out on the street. If you want to race, fine, come on out here and race. Don't do it out on the street. These are our future, these kids here.
When I pull up next to a cop at the start line, I always just think, oh, it'd be great if I beat them. It's a great feeling when you pass them on the drag strip going 100 miles an hour.
There is a very competitive spirit to it, but it's all about the kids. There's a lot of negativity in the world today, and a lot of negativity towards law enforcement. What we try to do out here is make something good, something positive out of this program, something that is worthwhile. Nowhere in the country is this being done on a regular basis. The Top the Cops program did help curb illegal street racing. It's been a great, positive program all these years.
You gotta be a certain type of person to get into flying without an engine. The fact that we're able to leave the ground, leave everything behind, fly through the skies on nylon and strings is exceptional. The Rat Race is a 7-day-long paragliding competition with 200 participants that also serves as the U.S. National Paragliding Championship. My name is Nick Grease. I'm a professional paraglider pilot. A paragliding race is very similar to a sailboat race. They race around buoys. We race around several different GPS coordinates that we have to hit along the way. Each morning, the race course is determined by the weather for that day, and a course typically ranges from 40 to 70 miles long. The first person to finish the course every day gets 1,000 points. If someone's 5 seconds back, they get 995, and so on and so forth. And then at 7 days, you add up all your scores together, and whoever has the most points wins. I grew up in Long Island in a suburb close to New York City. I went to Beloit College in Wisconsin, and after that I returned to Manhattan to take a job at a PR firm. My second day of work was September 11th, 2001. So I was walking to work and I saw the first plane hit the World Trade Center from the street. I don't know if that played a significant role, but it played some role in me deciding that I needed to do something sooner than later if I wasn't completely satisfied with what I was doing. So I sold all my possessions, I lived out of my car, all I did was fly. I've dedicated my life since 2001 to flying paragliders. For many years I've been one of the top pilots in the US, and that to me is a sign of success. Watching the start of a paragliding race is a sight to behold. 100 pilots launching off a hill and then getting up into the starting paddock, which is what we call a gaggle. The start can be a chaotic experience of people that are trying to get to the top so that they're in the best position. So everybody jockeying for position. Once that starts, it's just a glorious experience of rallying through mountain ranges for a whole day with your friends. After 7 days, you're pretty exhausted, but that's also the real joy in doing any kind of endurance event. Just like with anything, whether you're trading stocks or riding bikes or flying paragliders, you're always trying to make progress and increase your ability to succeed. And paragliding competition is a beautiful example of pitting your skills not only against your competitors, but against the elements.
The most unique part of rally car racing is if a regular person were to hear the in-car audio of a driver and a co-driver, it would seem like they were speaking gibberish. In actuality, it's a language that tells that driver what is coming next. They really are just the eyes for the driver before they can get to that spot.
Rally car racing in America is stage racing. You can have anywhere from 12 to 14 stages, anywhere from 6 to 20 miles in some cases. I mean, you're racing other competitors, but really it's you against the clock. So inside of a rally car, we have two people. We have a driver and a co-driver. The driver drives the car, tries to keep it on the road without wrecking it, and the co-driver is responsible for reading the notes.
50 turn, a left 3, will tighten, a right 3 minus, no cut. So for this example, we have 50 here, so that means before the next note I call, you'll have 50 meters. And then T for me stands for turn, which means you'll change roads from the road that you're currently on. And then a left 3. Left obviously means your corner is going to go to the left. And a 3 is the degree of the corner.
There's so much information to take in from the co-driver. You say 120 miles over a weekend, there could be as many as 2,000 to 3,000 different commands that co-driver is reading the driver. Pretty much that co-driver, isn't the computer of that car. He or she is going to get you from point A to point B. And as a driver, you need to trust what that co-driver is telling you.
We started as a team when I was 15, and sometimes I feel like I can simply read his mind.
I really trust what she is telling me to the point where if I had to close my eyes and maybe not drive at race speed, she could tell me pace notes and I could still drive blind.
Into left 3, into right 4, up, kink 70, right 4 long, up, tightens at T to a right 2, brake, turn, left 3 off camber, 40, into a care, left 3 down, 50, turn, left 3 tightens into a right 3 minus.
Rallies let me see how, one of my children has grown up and how they become. If I looked at her as a co-driver and not a daughter or a relative, I'd grab her in a heartbeat.
I'd love to make it a full-time career one day and rally internationally, and I'd love to just follow in my dad's footsteps.